So I'm gonna create a new world and yeah, so like comment down below if I should create another world in hardcore, but let's create.
There's a food store nearby, so they go and bring food supplies. This sudden meeting brings back hope in both of them.
My last word cannot got deleted.
They develop their own hobbies so they don't
I
get
think
bored.
in one of my last yesterday I wanted to record a video. My little cousin came and deleted my word. Oh, what a surprise.
After a few days, Emma becomes pregnant.
But there's no worry because that world has been, I have survived like for 5 days.
So William goes to the library and starts reading books about baby delivery. With time, their house becomes safe and free. Solar panels are installed so they can now store food in the fridge. They also start raising chickens and some cows, giving them eggs and milk. Nearby, there is a large green garden. With humans gone, the air has also become clean and pure. But over time, they face a big problem. The number of rats in the surrounding area keeps increasing, and now they're coming to the house. So they start burning garbage around the house.
This is day one. Starting our entire Minecraft world.
William brings some cats from far away, which helps reduce the rat population in their area. Finally, the day comes when Emma goes into labor. They have prepared a lot for this day. With William's help, a healthy baby girl is born. After that, they go into the city and paint their address in visible places so that if any other survivors ever come to the city, they can find their home. As time passes, 6 years go by. One day, when William is returning home by car, his car collides with a tiger on the road. As he looks closely at the tiger, he suddenly notices a little girl who gets scared on seeing him and starts running away. William catches her and tells her to come with him to his house. But the girl is very frightened, so William gives her an apple. Seeing the apple, the girl believes he won't harm her. She sits in William's car and goes to his house. There they find out that William now has 2 children. 2 years after the birth of their eldest daughter, here, they had a son named Alex. And Emma is now pregnant with their 3rd child. Maybe these 2 people are the ones who will repopulate the entire world. The good news is that because of the address they painted in the city, 2 survivors arrive at their home. But the little girl is still very scared, so she is not able to forces. She stays in the morning, when Marina goes to give her food, Marina tells her story, how she and George had been traveling around searching for living people and finally found William's address. Marina brings the girl inside the house and sends her to bed. After that, Marina finds some strange drawings in the girl's bag. There is also a letter with the name Evie. Marina shows the letter to everyone and says that it was written by Evie's mother. In the letter, it says that if anyone finds Evie, they should take care of her. When the virus spread, Evie's father physically harassed her, which deeply traumatized her, and she became afraid of everyone. One day, Evie's mother killed her father and told Evie to run away to a safe place. Now the 5 of them accept Evie into their group. Emma gives birth to her 3rd child, a boy named Sam. Now their family becomes even bigger. For the next year, they all live together happily. But one day, they get a signal that someone is coming. They send all the children inside the house, and the adults take
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll add a second season episode in it, and yeah, I think the video will stop in a few hours, but I don't know. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and any one of you my subscribers who plays Minecraft, give me any pin of your Minecraft world to see if your world has like strange stuff. You can send me the server pin, and then I'll see what the problem is, and I'll fix the problem. If some weird thing has been talking you for like your entire Minecraft, maybe it's scary. Don't worry, I got this. Nah, just okay. Is there a village dude, what am I saying? Is there a village near us?
Today, they are celebrating their eldest daughter here's birthday. William
Bro,
teaches all the
oh, what
children
a
in the
give?
group so they can know
Gotta be
everything about
serious.
the old world, that once there were many people
Come
on
on,
Earth, how they
Mojin, give me
behaved, what they
something
did,
else.
how the children should live in the future. He keeps explaining all these things to them.
Dude,
One day, a
still
terrible
water
storm
cake.
hits. William suddenly remembers that their dog Lucky is not inside the house. He rushes outside to find him and sees that poor Lucky has died after being crushed under a tree. Seeing this, both William and Emma are heartbroken, because when William had lost all hope of living, Lucky had come into his life, even before then. They make a grave for Lucky in their garden and give him the status of the first member of their group. After
No,
this, one day when William is watching his children play, a tiger enters their garden. William immediately steps in front of the tiger to save his children. Before anyone
this
can
will be
rescue
a
him,
nice
the
spot to
tiger
build a
badly injures
house.
him and runs away. Everyone tries to save
Wait,
William.
wait.
He has lost a lot of blood, but luckily because they have a doctor and medicines, William survives. Meanwhile, the tiger with her gun and kills it so it can't harm anyone again. A few weeks later, William starts
Now,
working again. Now 17 years have passed and all the children
great.
have grown up. William is teaching
I
his
need
sons
you.
Alex and Sam all the survival
Bruh,
tricks. Meanwhile, Ezra's
I
elder son Alex starts
need.
liking William's daughter here. They always stay together. Now they tell their families that they have decided to go out alone into the world. Everyone knows
You.
that the responsibility of increasing the population lies
And
on them, so no one objects. They can settle them weapons and food and water and send them off, but a few days
don't
later,
need
they
you.
start facing
Don't
a
need
shortage
you.
of water. They go to a nearby dump and discover that all the surrounding water sources are drying up. Because humans suddenly disappeared, the weather patterns have completely changed, and it hasn't rained for many months. This means the group now faces a big problem, water scarcity, and they see a vehicle coming toward them. That means there are still other survivors alive beside
Need
them.
more
They quickly
wood
go home and
to
inform
create
everyone,
a
saying that
house.
people could be a threat
And
and
I
trying to
leave it
take over
inside
the
the
world.
house.
Actually, the group's leader is Charlie, who says they came for oil.
And
They have a
remember,
drilling
this is
machine,
day
and
one.
they can drill into the ground and install a hand
Need
pump for
more
William so they
woods.
can have a steady water supply. In return,
Need more
Charlie wants extra
food.
from William so they can travel
So
their
let's
country
keep
500 miles away.
walking
Since
now.
William's group is facing a water shortage, they accept the offer. After all, what would they do with so much stored petrol anyway? A
I'm
quick
so
report, Charlie's
sorry
group
for
starts
killing
drilling
you.
at a spot. Since the process will take
Huh?
several days, Charlie's group stays in their vein. But over time, William notices that Charlie is not a good person. From his conversations, it's clear that at one time he killed many survivors for resources. After learning this, William privately tells his group to be careful of Charlie and to ensure their home is secure.
Did they spawn in an
After
island
the drilling is done, so
or
there's no
what?
need to worry too much. Drilling
Yeah.
continues for the next 2 days. Finally, after 4 days, they
You
succeed in
need
getting
meat.
water from underground. Everyone is very happy. William says that now their deal is complete, and Charlie can take all his petrol and leave. That night, they all celebrate together. However, William is tense because he feels Charlie is dangerous and won't leave so easily. At night, everyone goes to sleep. Suddenly, William hears someone scream from outside. He goes out and sees
That's
Charlie
exactly
coming out of
that.
the
We are
room.
not
While his
seeing
friend
that
Silas is standing guard
with the
outside to
wood
signal if anyone
and
comes.
the
William quickly goes into the room and
yeah.
sees he is
Remember,
alone. Charlie
the
is
viewers
forced to stop
don't
work. William
put
immediately tells his group. The other
the
members say Charlie
two
doesn't have
numbers
any
you see
weapons, and they overheard him saying he has
of
no
the meat
intention of
and
leaving
the
now.
wood. Okay.
William says that in that case they will have to kill him. He says he cannot watch his group members being harassed like this. Today he did it to Evie, tomorrow he'll do it to someone else. The others
Yeah.
agree but also discuss that very few humans are left in the world, so killing someone isn't right. But William explains that if they don't
Wait.
stop Charlie, their family won't be safe. Finally,
What's that?
everyone agrees that if Charlie is killed, the rest
They're
of his
going.
group might not retaliate. According to the plan, they surround Charlie from all sides.
Ah. Yo, chill.
Charlie. However, William feels
Bro.
because it's the first time he has for the safety of the next day, Charlie's group tells Charlie's group not to think about revenge. If they want, they can stay there, but they must work together with everyone. If they want to leave, they can leave now forever. Most of Charlie's group decides to stay. But Charlie's best friend is very angry. He hates William because in his eyes, they attack his He's feared to be a threat if he attacks again. Charlie's friend already knew he refused his power as a leader and also did such things to women in his own group, so they are glad he is dead. Silas is the only one sad about Charlie's death, so William expels him from the group. After some time, Silas tries to return because his whole group stayed there, and he because Silas supported Charlie's wrong actions. As punishment, he is permanently banished. Time moves forward, and now 20 years have passed. Without humans, the entire Earth has completely changed. The children of William's group start working together
Why do you
perfect the plane so they can easily
Bruh.
travel down from the mountain. But after some time,
This entire
start falling
ravine is just water river.
More than half the people have been infected
Moja.
with the virus,
No.
showing the same symptoms as 20 years ago.
Nah.
Dr. Molly explains that although they had become immune to the earlier virus, over time the virus evolved. However, this new virus variant is not as powerful, and they will soon find some treatment. Those who are still healthy will be taken care of. Sam Williams' son is in the worst condition, which worries everyone. Meanwhile, one day their daughter here returns home. She has gone out with Ray. She shares details of her journey. She says they traveled far and wide in a vehicle, searching for living people. They visited new places every day, but found no one alive in any house or city. One day, while camping on a mountain, they saw a man and started following, but he disappeared. Later,
Now
the same
gonna
man
find
came along
a nice area. And guys,
the same man Williams
that
vanished.
number
During
you
the
see,
Silas kills
that was
Ray.
6.
Here reaches Ray.
I'm not gonna say it right. I know you guys will just start saying 6, 7, 6, 7.
After that, here returns home. On the way, her vehicle runs out of fuel, so she has to walk the rest of the
No,
way.
did
That's
they
when
say
Here learns that most group members
just
have
the
again been
fact
infected
that
with
you
the virus. Though
have
this
not had
variant isn't as
anything,
strong as before,
and just
Dr. Molly
let's
treats them.
continue
To
the
reduce
video.
Sam's fever, she puts him in
It's
cold
day
water.
2,
After taking the medicines given by
night
Molly,
1.
everyone else recovers. But the medicine doesn't work on Sam. After speaking to his parents one last time, Sam died. After all these events, William is completely broken. Besides Sam, 3 other group members also died. Emma consoles William, reminding him that
Why
they
do I
had
keep
nothing,
on
they still
getting
had each other.
hunger?
Today they have a whole group, and they are the ones who will increase the population of the future world. William has his first preparing the group's children for the future. One day he goes to the top of the mountain and watches the sun.
I think this will be a nice
Realizing how much
area.
the world has changed in
A
20 years,
jungle.
he returns and gives a speech to the children, saying that until now they were following the wrong path, trying to rebuild the old world. But the world is no longer the same. From now on, they must learn to live according to nature. Nature itself will teach them how to survive in this new world and new climate. After
Let's
this, they turn the
collect
radio
some
back on
wood
so they can
to
communicate.
go to build a
They
house.
organize social events so children understand that humans are social beings. They renovate nearby cities according to their needs. Slowly, 50 years pass in this new world. And old William tells his grandson that this new human civilization came from their bloodline, and now it's his responsibility to carry it forward. And this is where the movie ends.
And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'm not gonna end the video, just joking. Let's finish.
139 times. Every time he died, he woke up again on the same morning. He relived everything from that day, so he knew every single detail. On the 139th revival, he woke up, got to avoid a knife, sat up, put on his shoes and dodged another strike, stood up, then bent
I
down
think
and
this
dodged
will
again.
be
He knew every
no.
move this killer would make, the exact timing and angle of each strike. He could effortlessly
Wait,
dodge attacks. Walking the
what
night in
the?
just his t-shirt, Roy poured himself a hot cup of coffee, took a sip, and waited for the
Wait,
killer
I
to stand
don't
up, then
care.
splashed the hot coffee right in his face. Next came the attack helicopter. A second assassin on board would fire a Gatling gun. Roy hid behind a pillar, knowing the first burst of bullets would kill the first assassin. Exactly 8 seconds later, the Gatling gun jammed. Roy stepped out and threw a knife, landing it right in the gunman's head. Once that killer was down, the Gatling gun malfunctioned, its bullets slowly drifting right. Roy simply followed the trail safely away. Honestly, Roy had no idea why people were after him. He only knew the helicopter would crash into his room in 8 seconds, its rotor blades falling 13 seconds later. Oh, and one more thing. The helicopter exploded after 18 seconds. He jumped out the window, landing perfectly in a garbage truck. He probably didn't know this, but Roy missed that garbage truck 22 times before. One time he landed in the street and got flattened by a truck. Next, Roy stole a sports car. Since he kept coming back, he didn't care about laws anymore. The car's driver screamed the same line every single time. But no one ever helped him. Roy also grabbed the driver's sunglasses. Then the third wave of assassins showed up, a pair of gun-toting sisters. Roy had to get away quickly. He'd killed him 14 times before, but it wasn't just these two. In a single day, Roy faced at least 7 waves of killers. He'd been blown up by the bomb maniac, Kaboom, twice, killed 3 times by his own clone, and he died 8 times at the hands of the swordswoman, Guan Yin. Roy had killed everyone else at least once, but Guan Yin was just too strong. She always appeared out of nowhere, decapitating him with one swift strike. Afterwards, she'd proudly say, "I am Guan Yin, and I have done this." Sometimes Roy managed to escape all these killers. Guess what he did then? He didn't even try to figure out why they were hunting him, or investigate the mystery behind it all. Instead, he went to a bar, asked the bartender for 2 bottles of China's strongest liquor, and drank himself into oblivion. He tried fighting back before, but there were just too many assassins, all too strong. He had never lived past 12:47 p.m., so eventually, he simply gave up trying. Roy actually had a pretty good guess who put him into this endless loop. It must have been his ex-wife Gemma. Gemma was a top physicist at Dino Labs. Just yesterday, Roy had visited Gemma at her lab. She seemed really nervous. She begged Roy for help, but wouldn't say exactly what she needed. When he wasn't paying attention, she secretly snipped off a lock of Roy's hair. Then she said, "I hope you stop wasting your life. Pull yourself together. Become the man you used to be." Roy had been in special forces before, but after leaving the military, he had nothing to do. Middle-aged and aimless, he scrambled downward. That's why Gemma divorced him. But now, for some reason, Gemma had given him another chance. Oh no, it wasn't just one chance. It was unlimited chances. Roy had tried calling Gemma, but instead, her boss, Colonel Ventor, picked up. Ventor said, "Gemma is already dead. You're next." So clearly, Ventor was the one behind everything. But Roy still didn't have the motivation to take Ventor down, because every day was hell mode, and he couldn't even pass the first level until his 145th resurrection. Roy hid out in an underground mall. By sheer luck, he saw his son Joe. Roy hadn't been a good dad. He hadn't seen Joe in a very long time and felt guilty about it. So he decided to talk with his son. When he walked Joe out of the underground mall, he suddenly noticed it was almost as if this was the longest he'd ever survived. Why hadn't the assassins appeared during this time? Roy realized something. Underground had no cell signal. That meant he had a tracker implanted somewhere. Right then, the assassins appeared, closing in one by one. Roy's first reaction wasn't to run away. Instead, he turned and hugged Joe tight, but it was already too late. All the assassins fired at once. Bullets ripped into Roy's back. As he lay dying, Roy looked deeply at Joe. This death didn't end in pain. Instead, he saw shock, sadness, and love in his son's eyes. And for the first time, Roy felt
Advise my gun so
Survival
loud.
146. Roy grabbed the assassin hard and demanded to know how he was tracking him. But the assassin was tough. He refused to talk, even until death. So Roy had to figure it out himself. He went to his friend Dave, the counter surveillance expert, and asked him, if someone implanted a tracker in a human, where would it most likely be? Dave said, "In the teeth." Suddenly Roy remembered the hot girl he met last night, a dentist. During their date, she brought Roy to her clinic and worked on his teeth. And began pulling out his teeth one by one. Each tooth he pulled, he took a swig of strong liquor. The pain was unbelievable. Finally, he found a tooth with the tracker. From that day onward, Roy could predict the assassin's predictions. He used that tooth as bait to lure them out one by one. Then he ambushed and defeated them easily. After defeating all their targets, his next target was Ventor. Ventor was at Dino Labs. Roy drove straight there, accelerating hard to smash through the entrance. Instead, he hit a wall, crashed, and died instantly. On his next revival, he tried again. Roy sped his car inside. There were over a dozen heavily armed security guards. But Roy wasn't actually in the car. Instead, he planted explosives, blowing away the security checkpoint doors. And he hadn't expected the head of security to suddenly appear beside him. Alright, try again. On his third try, Roy killed his clone assassin. Then he disguised himself as the clone and used his ID card to sneak into the building. He got into the elevator, heading up to the top floor. Inside the elevator, an armed guard asked him for his ID card. Roy swiped the card and discovered he didn't have clearance. The big guy immediately killed Roy. Fourth try, Roy entered the elevator and immediately shot the guard first. But when the doors opened, a bunch of security guards stood there, guns pointed. Roy quickly shot himself in the head, shocking everyone. Fifth try, Roy killed the guard again, but then noticed a security camera in the elevator. No wonder the guards outside were always waiting for him. Sixth try, Roy disguised himself as the guard early on, finally avoiding the camera detection. He reached the hallway, but found Guan Yin, the swordswoman, waiting there. Roy had a gun, and she had a sword. It was obvious who should win, right? But Guan Yin moved like lightning. Bullets couldn't even touch her. She sliced Roy's gun in half, then swiftly cut off Roy's head. Revival 152. Roy bought a submachine gun and fired rapidly at Guan Yin. She still dodged every bullet effortlessly, stabbing Roy in the stomach and decapitating him again. Revival 153. Roy picked up a rifle, still couldn't hit her, and again, he lost his head. After dying over 20 times, Roy finally understood guns wouldn't beat Guan Yin. He needed a sword, so Roy found Dai Feng, the Chinese sword master from Wuhan, who had been world champion for 12 consecutive years. He begged her to teach him sword fighting. Because Roy was genuinely sincere, Dai Feng agreed. They began by practicing with their bare hands, pretending their fingers were swords. Roy got badly beaten up by Dai Feng. When practice ended each day, Roy killed himself and started over again. Gradually, he began to understand the art of swordsmanship. He upgraded to a wooden sword, but still got beaten badly. Then slowly, Roy's stance and strikes improved greatly. On his 174th revival, Roy managed to hold his own against Dai Feng for a few moves. After countless revivals, he finally reached the point of using real swords. After just 7 moves, Roy defeated Dai Feng. Roy respectfully thanked
I think that will be the end of the video, and continue on this house next episode. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.